All right, well, good morning and welcome to the first huddle of 2021. I'm so excited. I don't know about you guys, but I already had a workout in, already did shower, already did a wake up call, and here we are for the morning huddle. So really just kicking this year off as strong as possible. But what I wanted to first of all do is really just tell you guys how excited I am for 2021, how grateful I am for being able to have all of you come into our lives in 2020 and, for what we were able to do. But, really one of the biggest things in this industry is so many times people come in, they get to a certain point and they just kind of slow down, and then they stay at that rank forever and ever and ever because they don't really ever keep pushing forward or pick it up or stay consistent. And what we want to do is, we really have so much momentum as a team, coming in, finishing up this whole year, coming into Black Friday, through Black Friday, all the way through the holidays. And hopefully you guys got a chance to breathe, relax, enjoy family just a little bit, maybe eat a little too much food, and, bring in the new year, but really kind of regroup. And so, how many of you sat down and actually really wrote out some goals for 2021? Okay, I'm seeing lots of hands. Okay, okay, ish. Okay. Well, guess what? It's not too late, right? You can still do it. And I think the biggest thing is, if you are looking for success, in 2021, is it's time to kind of refocus and figure out, okay, what are the goals? We did lots of goal setting at the end of the year. We did some stuff last week, on the huddles, and Jesse did some great trainings on it as well. And it's really important to figure out what it is you want, because again, what we don't want to do, we've had so much momentum, and so many of you guys hit ranks that you wanted. Some, obviously have higher ranks they want to go to, some came close. But what we want to do is figure out what we need to do right now to get you to that next rank. And we're going to take off running again, right? It's time for that next 90-day run. And, between now and the end of March is that 90 days. And we really want to help you guys get to those goals. So March 29th is really kind of that big, big date as we're looking for, the end of that 90 days. So we're pretty darn close to that 90 days, right? So we really, really, really want to help you guys. So one, if you don't know what you need to do, want to do, schedule a call with us. Let's get you on our calendar. Let's help you game plan. All right. If you've already got a great idea, or you know where you want to go, but you're not quite sure how to do it, again, go ahead and schedule a call with us. Okay. Because we want to help you guys really map this out and help you hit those goals. The other thing is, when we go on these runs, one of the things that makes these runs so incredible is when we do them as a team, it helps everybody win, right? Because think about it, in this business, we build two legs. Everybody builds a left, everybody builds a right. So when we are all running together and we are all working together, we all can build that much faster together. And for those of you, who've been on some of the calls with Mazaffer, you'll hear him talk about when you truly have duplication when you get multiplication, right? And so getting, when everybody is working together, numbers just start to multiply. We're not adding anymore. And when you can get that true multiplication and duplication going in this business, that's when logic is right out the door, right? It doesn't matter, because things just start happening. And I know so many of you got to see this over the last, 4, 8, 12 weeks, even longer than that. But I know a lot of you hit ranks that you were like, oh my gosh, I didn't think that was possible. Or you won trips and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't think that was possible. You were able to do a lot of incredible things because of laying that foundation. And now that we've got such an incredible foundation laid already, we want to help you guys take advantage of it and really have that jump start and launch 2021 like crazy, right? So that we can make that first 90 days be super duper successful. And it's really always pushing forward, always moving towards that next rank that helps people be successful. Again, in this industry, so many people come in and they run really fast and they hit a rank and then they just stop, right? And then they struggle. They struggle to maintain that rank. They struggle to get back to that rank. they struggle to get past that rank. And it's because they stop. It's like they hit it and they stop, and all that momentum, all that hard work that they've done is gone. And we're not going to let you guys do that, right? We want to, because I know you guys have big goals. I know you want to hit big ranks, and we want to help you do that. So one of the things, we're going to go back to the very, very, very basics today. But before I do that, is there anything anybody wants to share? First of all, on anything about the new year, goals for this year, ideas, successes, wins, anything? Anybody got anything? If you don't, it's okay, but.
Whitney, and I want to shout out to Whitney and Carla. They've done a great job of putting together the 10-day challenge with the post. It's awesome, guys. And your posts are really good. And I like the alkaline one you just did. It's pretty cool. Thanks.
They are doing a great job. Do you guys want to add something to that, guy, about what you are doing so people can help promote?
I want to say, make sure everyone checks out Sea Life Nation page. That's where we kind of put all of the information that you need to know in there. There will be a cash prize. Anybody that wants to participate, or their clients or customers to participate, needs to put $5 into a pot. So just let me know if you want to do that. We have, I haven't calculated how much yet, but we have a good little pot going, but we'd like it to be bigger just for a good incentive for people. And then make sure you're talking to people now, because they need to have things ordered and ready to go by the time we start on Monday. Yeah, so it's exciting.
May I ask another question related to that? Trish, do you think that when we're promoting that it's okay? I mean, do you still recommend not putting the product in the picture so people can't like see exactly what it is, but just make it so that they have to ask? I mean, what do you recommend?
You're talking about promoting it out on Facebook?
Yes.
Yeah, I would, promote it with a picture of you. And, something you've done or a story you've done, because you want them reaching out and asking you questions. Once they get into the group, they can be seeing more about it. But you don't really necessarily want to be posting pictures of all the products out there. That's my opinion. Carla, Whitney, you guys want to add to that?
Yeah, I would just say that we are going to be giving you guys some posts to be using on your personal profiles. Utilize stories as much as possible, and just like anything else, we can get away with a little bit more in stories. Make them your own as much as possible, but don't also forget to personally be inviting people to Sea Life Wellness. So the post that we will be giving you is to cast a wide net to your wide audience on your personal profiles, but it doesn't substitute and shouldn't be the only way to invite people to the 10-day reset. So there's a lot more coming, you guys. We have like a 20-day plan laid out. So this 10 days, we're already on day 4 actually of the pre-launch, and then the challenge. So you'll see a lot more things coming. Let us know if you have any questions. It might not be perfect, but we can certainly edit things along the way. And if you do like it, it is the result of planning, just like Trish said. We had a strategy call with her and Ruth last week. Whitney and I put together a plan, and now we're simply executing the plan. So it's just like anything else.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you doing it. And here's the really cool thing about it too, is this is something that can be repeated multiple times throughout the year. It doesn't even have to be something that we're doing just now for the beginning of the year. It's going to be something that we can continue to do and make bigger and bigger as the year goes. Because, yes, it's the biggest time of year for people to want to set those goals and lose weight and get healthy. That's when but it happens other times a year too, right? And people who maybe did start, they're going to want to keep going and stay consistent with it. So it's something that can definitely be done, multiple times throughout the year. So, and this is just the first go around with it. What makes it great too, because we're going to learn from it, and which allows us to evaluate and make changes for next time. So great job, ladies. We appreciate you so much for doing that. And I'm excited for it. I got to go. I honestly, I will say, and I hope some of you did this too, I unplugged a little bit from social media. Just needed a little reset in my brain with it. Put my phone down a lot over the last week as far as social media goes. and, still having conversations with people, but not so much on social media, just to kind of get that reset. But we need to do that every once in a while for a few days, just to get our sanity back. And then, just one other thing I just want to encourage you guys, when you're doing your stuff online, really try to stay focused on what it is you're doing for your business and get off. One, so that you're not, so that you don't get lost in the scroll, because all of a sudden an hour can go by and you're like, oh crap, I still haven't even done what I came on here to do. Right? Am I done that? Right? That happens. But the other thing too is it's going to allow you to be more intentional with what you're doing online. And also it's going to keep you from feeling like all you're doing is working, because if you're on there really just scoping things out, you're really not working. And so you want to be able to get on, do what you need to do, and move on to whatever the next thing is. And so that you're not, wasting too much time just scrolling through Facebook or whatever platform you're watching or using. So anyway, so all of that though leads into what we really want to focus on this year. So for anyone still who, a lot of you, I'm just looking here, we've got a mix of new and old, I don't want to say old, new and seasoned people on the team when it comes to social media. But sometimes when we get going, we kind of forget about the basics, right? And we overcomplicate things in our mind. And so what I really want to focus on for you guys today to talk about is to think about really getting back to those basics and branding yourself. And some of you have done a phenomenal job with getting yourself branded and getting started with that. Some of you have been doing it a little longer than others. But going back to the basics of what branding actually is. And just remember that, a lot of you, it's going to start with your personal profile, right? It's going to start with your personal profile. And if you have, been posting about companies and products, and most of you who I'm seeing on here, you've been with us for a while. I don't think you've been doing that. But if you have, get rid of those posts, right? Get rid of those posts. If you're posting pictures and stuff, and that's what I mean, you can still talk about the products, but in, the more attractive way. The other thing is so you really want to focus on branding yourself, which gets started with who is your avatar, right? Who is your perfect prospect? Who is it that you're speaking to? And if you still feel unclear, go back to the trainings that we've done in the training portal that's specifically on your avatar, that's specifically on who your perfect prospect is, so that you can learn the language that you need to speak. Because a lot of times, especially if you've been doing this for 90 days or more and you're not quite getting the result you want, maybe you're not quite speaking, maybe you don't have your avatar dialed in yet, right? Maybe you're not getting, maybe your message is still a little confusing to people. So getting more specific on who you're talking to is going to allow you to come up with content that's going to be more specific for the people who you're looking for in your business. Now, not always, but most of the time, when you sit down and really do that avatar worksheet, you're going to find out that the person who you're looking for is a lot like you, right? It's going to be a lot like yourself in most cases. For me, I do go towards people who are more like me, my age, but I also tend to do a lot of my stuff going back to some of my beginning days, because that's going to bring in a different avatar, a different person, going back to those days when I got started, when I was younger, when I was still a full-time CPA. That's the one that I focus on a lot, because I'm really wanting people, who are really looking for something different and, are at a young age already kind of figuring out that they want out of corporate. So I tend to focus there a lot too, but you got to figure out who your person is, right? And a lot of times it's exactly what, the reasons that you got into this industry. But when you can really dial in who it is that you're trying to bring into your business, it's going to allow you, when you write your content, to be able to understand and use the right language, words that attracted you, something that if you read it, you were like, oh, me too, because that's your goal when you're writing a post, is you want people going, oh my gosh, I have those struggles that she had, but look, she's got a solution. I need that solution. that's what I'm missing. I need that. I need that. That's what's going to get these people reaching out to you, right? That's what's going to get these people going, okay, what is it that you're doing differently than what I'm doing? You know, how are you getting these results, right? I mean, think about, are those things that you've thought of, right? You want to know, okay, well, how do I attract more people? How do I help them get the results? You know, those things. Well, you've got to think, you know, what are the pain points? What are the things that are really speaking that language of that person? So again, in the training portal, when you get down to some of the online stuff, you will see there is a section specific about your avatar, okay? The other thing is, when you're using that personal profile, one of the biggest things, remember, is that your personal profile is your list, right? So when people say, hey, make a list, your profile is your list to some degree, because of most of your friends or family or people who you want to talk to about your business are going to be on that friends list already. Okay, so one, I'm not telling you to go from or message every friend. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that is your list starting, but what we need to focus on is expanding that list. And I think that for a lot of you, that might be what's missing right now, is that you're talking to like you're doing these incredible posts, but you're talking to the same people every single week. So again, in the training portal, in the very first section, it talks about basically expanding that list and really getting to, excuse me, I just got tongue tied. It talks to you ways to get more engagement on Facebook. So there's tips that we've taught you, tips that you can do through Messenger, tips you can be doing in posts, tips you can be doing, you know, to be doing with your posts that are going to start attracting more people, using your stories. There's things there that are going to help expand that list and expand the reach within the list that you have. But ultimately, it's going to be about expanding that list as well. And Ruth is going to be covering that a little bit more tomorrow on tomorrow's training. So today, what I want you guys to really think about is, if you're not clear on what to do, go back to the avatar training and then go back to some of the very beginning social media training that we have, because the way the sequencing of the posts, the types of posts, the different types of posts, and how to do those are going to be some of the things that are going to start allowing you to get more reach in your business. Okay. Then there's some ways to do it through stories. And, you know, we teach you, you know, some messenger tips, some story tips, and some posting tips that are also going to help expand that reach. But ultimately as well, you're going to want to make sure that you're following those sequences so that people are really starting to see your content and see that you've got valuable content. And again, following that series so that when you are asking for someone, you know, like inviting them to something, that they're actually responding to that. Okay, so you're getting more and more people commenting, you know, on your posts. The other thing is that, oops, sorry, you guys, second. All right. And then lastly with that is making sure that you're spending 20 minutes a day going through and commenting on other people's posts, you know, right? Liking them, or, you know, whatever reaction you want to do, and then commenting on their posts. You want to be spending at least 20 minutes a day going through the feed and finding people, and you might need to go out and search people. So if you've got people who you've added into SMP, one of the best things to do is to go to their pages, go to their profile, and start commenting on some of their stuff. Valuable content. Just, this isn't to be trying to pull them into a group. This is to be building that relationship and getting it also so that your content is showing up in their newsfeed. Okay, because what we're still seeing is you guys are really awesome at supporting the team members, right? But that changes your algorithm. And when you do that, those people are showing up in your newsfeed and not these new people who you're bringing into the group. And you need to have those people seeing your content, right? It's not the team who needs to see your content. It's the new prospects that you're bringing into the group that you want seeing your content. So spending 20 minutes a day really out there commenting and liking and, doing some things that are going to potentially start some conversations with these prospects, but ultimately building know, like, and trust. Okay. Then you want to be going into groups. Now, this one's super important, and Ruth will be covering this part a little bit more tomorrow. But when you guys are looking for groups, I want you to get creative with how you're searching them, right? So think about, don't be trying to find groups where you've got tons of friends. There's millions of groups on Facebook. There's millions of groups on Network Marketers. Like for me, I have found some groups that are like over 40 people. I have found like a whole bunch of different things that I think about. What problems do our products solve? What problems, does our business solve? And then I look, so different types of moms groups, but I'm going into some that are more my age, ones that are going to fit my avatar better. And all of us have a different avatar. So really going out and, even when you're thinking about a hashtag or something like that, doing your searches slightly differently so that you're finding something where your avatar would be hanging out. Right? Does that make sense to everyone?
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, because I've had all this problem with mold and been really sick, I'm in a lot of those groups with those
Sure.
kind of people, and our products will help those people. Okay, so one of the people asked the other day about their hair falling out. So I wanted to tell them about our shampoo and stuff, but I don't want to like put it in the group. So then, I'll message you or something. And then somebody else says to me, well, why won't you share the link here so that everybody can be helped? So like, I was thinking what I should say is everybody's a little different. So I prefer to help you individually. I mean, what do you think I should say? It's like, I really don't want to spam the group with my link. Cause I don't want to just put a link out there.
No.
So what would your answer be to somebody that's like getting mad because I'm like, not just putting the information right there?
I would just say there's nothing secretive about the information, but we've all, I wanted to ask some more specific questions to make sure that I actually was giving the person the right info, because it's going to be a little bit different for everybody. And so, I'd be happy, to share them, but I really wanted to be more specific with getting clarity on what this person, really was looking for. Because although we've all struggled with different things, it still may not be the same thing that's going to help each individual person.
Right. And then how do you go from because these people have no idea, like I have a sell stuff. So it's like, how do you go from when you get into Messenger with them, not sound like you're trying to sell them something, but instead you're really trying to help them? Because I am trying to help them, but they sometimes take it, if it's the product that I can offer, that the only reason I'm helping is because I'm selling it. So how do you?
I would just say, some of the things you can ask them, say, listen, this has been a journey for me. There wasn't one thing that fixed it. It's been, a variety of different things. And, and I would just say, what you could start asking more specific questions, what type of mold, how long were you exposed? Things like that. And just share a little bit about your story with it. And then you always can ask somebody too, hey, is there any way we can hop on a Zoom and we can really just have a conversation about this so that I can maybe help you better? Because it's in that conversation, you can ask more questions, which eventually you can share what you did to.
So do you ever put the link, they're wanting the shampoo or the whatever, do you ever put that in there, the link for them, or do you, in the specific Messenger group, or do you wait till you get them on the phone? Or Zoom?
It depends. If they're asking for the link, I think it's okay to give it. If they're asking for permission, I just wouldn't do it. So, and Whitney says here, and maybe rather than say, I sell this, say, this is what worked for me. Yeah. Or this is what has worked for me.
But then when I give them the link, they're going to see my name. And so that's why I'm like,
well, and you can just say too, just to be upfront, because this works so well for me, it is something that, I've made part of my business because I've had so many great results with it. I want to be able to share it with as many people as possible who are suffering from the same things that I was.
Okay.
So,
thank you guys.
You're welcome. I do think that if you can get on a Zoom with people, though, you're going to have a better conversion than if you don't get on a Zoom. Let's see. That's great, Carla. So Carla went through her friends list last night because she knows she has a lot of people that she doesn't see, and that's exactly what you need to do. You know, as you're making the list of people who you're bringing into these groups, you might need to start specifically going through that list, spending 20 minutes going over to their page or profiles and really commenting, because that's, again, when you can start commenting on their stuff, they're going to start seeing your stuff in the news feed. Okay. And it's going to hopefully, and when you're following up with people too, you can always write a response and ask, and also have a question in there so that they have to make a response back. Because when they have to make a response back on your comment, then you're going to guarantee that you show up in their newsfeed. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, perfect. So that is really for today, guys. Let's get back to basics. If you're unclear on who your avatar is, let's go back to that. Let's make sure you're doing the right activities. Let's make sure you're really working on branding yourself. Let's make sure we are expanding your list by expanding the followers and the friends that you have on your page. Heather says, also, if you're going through your friends list, you can categorize this. Yes, that is a great idea, Heather. You can, as you're going through, you can definitely like have people who are like your regular friends who you don't want to see a post, or break them down into different categories. That's a great idea. So that when you do a post, you can target these people a little more specifically.
So can you make groups in Facebook that you can target like that?
Under your settings, you can group and categorize your friends. Is that where you're talking, Heather? Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So does anybody else have any questions for today?
I have just a quick question about shipment status. I know with the holiday last week, do you know anything about if they're behind a good bit? Because I submitted an order and it still is even just showing pending.
What is it you ordered?
I ordered just like my shake and some of the supplements.
Okay. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to be honest. I actually need to call today on 2 items, but I'll ask that question when I call.
Okay.
And see if I can find out.
Yeah, because it's just showing received. It hasn't shown anything. And normally the turnaround is usually pretty quick.
Did you order
I think I did order chocolate, but I think it gave it to me in my pack. It didn't show it was out of stock when I ordered it, or I may have switched. I can't remember.
Did you order like the Health Made Simple?
No, I ordered the regular one. Let me pull my order, and I can pull this up later for you. But
yeah, actually, I can go look at it too. I can pull it up. So yeah, I would say call. And right now, I would say if you've got questions, call customer care. Don't send the email, because I know my emails have not been getting answered very quickly.
But then if I call, I can't ever get through. After an hour, I usually hang up.
But try today. It may be different this week. Okay. Because I mean, I think for the most part, most everything's been worked out now. But I would try today and see. Hopefully you will not be on hold a super long time. So, but if there's something specific, I do have to call today, message me, and I will add yours to my list. Okay.
Can you ask, or do you know, I've noticed that several people have had trouble with the cream, the pump not working. Do you know if they had a bad batch of those, if they've pulled them? Do you have any idea?
I don't have any idea, because I didn't even know about it till I saw a couple of you guys post about it. So, because I haven't had any issues personally, and I haven't had anybody say anything to me, so I didn't know about it.
Talking about.
So, hey guys, hold on. I'm going to end this recording. Okay. These aren't questions I want on here. Hold on a second.